Hello and welcome back everyone, this is Allura SC back at you with another Fortnite tutorial video. Now for today's video we will be covering the west side of what is commonly known as the Devil Amplifier. If this is going to be checked on your map, it is on the northwestern part of your map. As you can see right there on our map, it is Amplifier E. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. So for the main amplifier build, as you can see right here, we're just gonna hit and did a very standard wall around the amplifier itself. As you can see, we just have a couple of floor launchers attached to the sides over here, a couple of upturned pieces. You know, there's floor launchers rigged up to the sides over here, yeah, and just a couple of these rooftop pieces as well. Yeah, how you choose to decide to build your amplifier surroundings is entirely up to you, but this is how we've gone ahead and done so. Now before we move into the funnel proper as well, I would like to go ahead and highlight to you guys that there is going to be some building of floor pieces over here right around the side of this little edge right here. So if you guys look at the terrain, you know, you might be wondering why this looks a little bit strange. It's because we have just built a little player built floor right across this particular area down here, so just do take note. I will be covering this left side funnel first, so let's just go ahead and get right into it, guys. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so as we well know, there is a spawn on this side here. There's a spawn this side here. We have a couple of spawns on this side. Let me just go ahead and get something to point with. Actually, the boom bow is actually a great weapon to point with, so there you go. Yeah, this particular spot right here, we have a spawn, and we also have a spawn coming in from the bottom over here. So for those of you who are also knowing this as well, the boom bow has just been released today as of the release of this particular video. So if you guys haven't gotten it yet, please go ahead and grab it. But this video isn't about the boom bow. This video is actually about the Devil Amplifier west side. So let's just go ahead and tell you guys what we are doing here. Right, so spawn number 1 over here, and there's also a possible spawn over there. Some people have gone ahead and put a bunch of additional building over here, some additional traps over here. I feel like it is unnecessary because more often than not, in fact all of the time, all of these husks anyway, they go through this entire portion over here, and with the funnels that we have built here, it is basically strong enough to accommodate both the husks from here as well as from down below and kill pretty much all of the husks anyway. So building anything down over there is pretty much what I would call an overbuild. But if you feel like you need some additional damage for whatever reason, you can feel free to go ahead and rig up some additional traps over here, right? But let's just ignore that for now. So as we can see over here, this is where the cliff's edge is. This is where the cliff's edge is. You can go ahead and see over here what we have done exactly. We've gone ahead and slapped down a little metal wall over here. We have a 2x1 setup here as well as a 2x1 setup here. Okay, so our 2x1 setups, for the most part, we do have a broadside on the right side, wall launcher on this side here, wall launcher on this side here. Once again, for all wall launchers, if otherwise stated, are all going to be the 3 times impact wall launchers. These ones, 3 times impact wall launchers. Okay. Same thing for the wooden spikes as well. These are the wooden spikes that we're using. You can't actually reload on wooden spikes, so this one is what we have. Damage, crit rating, crit damage, as well as increased building health, right? So this is what we have for these rolls. And for gas traps, once again, if you guys are curious, 1 damage, 1 reload, 1 crit rating, 1 crit damage. Okay, so once again, we have a 2x1 over here and a 2x1 over here. Wall launcher here, wall launcher here, wall launcher here, gas. Okay, so for this particular part over here, we're gonna hit and do a little zigzag. We have a wall launcher over here, gas, dart traps, slowing spikes, and slowing spikes. Over here, we have the husks coming in from here. They're not going to get zigzag, but they're actually going to get sent by this wall launcher over to this side right here. Okay, so wooden spikes, gas, and we also have a tar pit right here. So you might be wondering, you know, how are we using these wooden floor spikes and tar pits? When do we decide? When do we decide when to actually use which trap? So generally speaking, I am currently of the opinion right now that I would like to actually have tar pits, right? Mostly during the areas where there is already some frontal damage to take care of most of the regular husks, all the little tiny husks, the little regular husks, bone throwers, the weaker husks, most of them should be decimated by all of the early traps, and this part over here is meant to stick things like smashers as well as huskies. Okay, so this part over here, I think I've gone ahead and staggered this part. You can basically put more tar traps towards the back or less tar traps, kind of up to you, but this is how we have it right now. So the first tar trap that we have over here, the reasoning why we have this tar trap right here. So if we go ahead and count tiles, this is basically based entirely off experience. If you basically count tiles, if let's say a smasher spawned in, smashers generally require 3 hits from a wall launcher for them to send flying. So if a smasher comes right through here, this wall launcher is going to go off once, this wall launcher is going to go off, they're not going to get flung yet, but as they approach here and they get stuck by this tar pit, this wall launcher should fire and send them right back out. So all this should be calculated. Okay, so that's the explanation why we have a tar pit over here to jam any of the smashers or propanes or huskies. Most of the other husks should be dead by there and they get sent back over there. If you feel uneasy, if you happen to notice that there is a clog up over here, you can always replace this with a slowing floor spike instead and put the tar pits towards the back. Okay, so what else do we have over here? First tar pit here, wall darts, gas trap, wall launcher. Wall spikes, wall darts, gas trap. Tar pit, gas trap, wall darts, wall launcher. Tar pit, wall launcher, ceiling gas, wall darts. So you can see over here, basically towards the end of our funnel, we've just gone ahead and rigged it all up with tar pits. And the reason why we feel safe to do so is because at this point, pretty much only smashers should be surviving. Beyond this point, pretty much only smashers should be surviving. And having 1 or 2 smashers getting stuck in the tar pit is actually fine. Yeah, you just don't want to have a whole row of husks just completely getting stuck. Like this tile over here is a little bit scary. This tile over here, not so much. Okay, so that's basically it. Yeah, tar pit, 4 tar pits over here. Wall launcher, wall launcher, wall launcher, wall launcher. Okay, so this part over here is where we have the exit located. And as we exit over here, this wall launcher here is a 3 times impact wall launcher. This over here is a 5 impact floor launcher. 5x, 5x, 5x. This entire area here, 5x floor launchers, 3x wall launcher here. Why do we put a 3x wall launcher here? In the event that this wall launcher, this floor launcher does not go off or is on cooldown, which is quite likely because this is an 8-second cooldown floor launcher, this over here is going to be able to trigger and send the smasher across to this side right here, where it will be caught by another 5x floor launcher. As it recovers, it's probably going to move towards this tile, and this one will probably send it flying. If you feel the need to, we usually have a bunch of floating pieces. If it's the later waves, if you feel like you need a couple more floor launchers, you can always rig up more floor launchers over here if you find a couple of leaks coming through here. But that basically does it for this area right here. 4 floor launchers connecting, 1 more floor launcher here, floor launcher, and then we have it connected right towards the amplifier right about there. Okay, so now that we've covered what the funnel looks like, I'm just going to go ahead and outline to you a couple of things that we've also added on the sides right here. I added a little slanted piece right here. This is not just for ease of access for players to actually run quickly upwards here to gain access to any areas up here like placing the base, etc. But you could also use this additionally as an additional what we call resistance point, so that smashers, or whatever husks do not feel a pressing need to want to punch through any of these walls over here to try and come through easily on this side. So this is why this wall exists right here. Now let's go ahead and touch a little bit on the Lubber Shield. Now this Lubber Shield doesn't have to be necessarily very excessive. As you can see, it is only 1 row of upturned floor pieces right here. One upturned row of what do you call that, slanted pieces right here, and this basically prevents the lobbers from tossing already, and this is sufficient. I've not gotten any lobbers nor flingers coming in from this side over here. So as you can see, even this tile over here is not even necessary. If we look down over here, this is where we have a little slope right there, so we don't actually need to cover this area. You just need to cover up to this little ridge right here. This little ridge point up here, upturn this, and then you're basically done. So this covers it for the first funnel. Let's go ahead and showcase to you guys what the second funnel looks like. So there's another spawn that happens right about here, as well as up there as well. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So there's a little block off right here. This is where there is a little gradient slope, yeah, a little 4 tile gradient slope. So what we've basically done is gone ahead and place metal walls on these two sides over here, shoved in a wall launcher on this side. So if you might be wondering, Allura, why do you put a wall launcher on this side? If we have a couple of spawns coming in from this side over here, they're going to walk in a diagonal fashion, and as they walk in a diagonal fashion, this wall launcher is going to catch them and send some of them backwards. So that's also why we have a ceiling gas trap right here, ceiling gas trap right here as well. The ones that are coming in from this side over here are going to walk from this part. This part we kind of left it empty. Okay, so as we are having the husk moving forwards up here, as we can see right here, we have a little intricate funnel system right here. So this one is actually going to be requiring a little bit of explanation, but hopefully you guys can keep up, yeah? So over here, onto this particular flat piece of land right here, we have wooden floor spikes, retractables over there. Okay, wall launcher on this side over here. Think of this as a little 3x1 setup, and this is like a little timeout room. Okay, so let's just back off a little bit to show you guys how we've built on this side. So as I have mentioned over here, we do have some spawns coming in over here. Okay, there's a couple of spawns coming in over here. Now on this side, there is no need for you to put any form of lubber shields because it is too far for the lobbers nor the flingers to try and toss into the base from this point. They simply do not have enough range. Okay, so some of the husks over here, they may choose to decide to go through this funnel system over here. Some of them might choose to go down over there. It doesn't really quite matter. Either way, very important. You can see over here how we've built it. We've gone ahead and placed wooden floor spikes here. We've gone ahead and walled off this entire side here. Now this part over here is crucial, in fact, for you guys to understand that we need to really wall off this side well and good. Okay, because we definitely do not want to have any lobbers or flingers thinking that they have an easy way out to punch through this particular area here and have a good time tossing their stuff into your base from that little hill over there. So as you can see on this side over here, we just gone ahead and put multiple boxes of wall-offs. So if you guys are wondering how it looks like from up above, let me just go ahead and show you guys really quickly. This is how it looks like right here. Okay, wall off over there, wall off over there, wall offs over there as well. Okay, there's a little lava rock section over there as well. Let me just go ahead and show it to you guys before we move into the funnel proper. Okay, so let me just go ahead and delete that really quickly. So we basically have a lava rock falling over here. This one is probably going to take some time and patience for you to be working with, but this is the general area that you are going to be dealing with. It is a 3x2 area. A 3x2 area for this lava rock to fall down. If you've gone ahead and built it exactly as how we have done so right here, the lava rock will consistently fall onto this block here and it will not shift. Just make sure, once again, that you build this entire area exactly as how we have done so. So what are the points of reference? We have this little hill over here off to the northwestern side. Okay, you look at the map where we are right now, we have a little hill right here. At the very edge of this hill, slap down your metal walls. Slap down one metal wall off to the side right there, one more here, so that's 2, 3, 4. Stop. Curve. One metal wall here. Stop. Curve. One metal wall right here. Stop. Curve. One metal wall here. Stop. Curve. And this is where you end off. Okay, so once again, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a bird's eye view of how this looks, so you guys can have a better picture of how exactly we've done this. Okay, so right there's a little open face there, a box, a box, a box. Over there we have a 3x1 rectangle box, another 3x1 rectangle box, but that side over there we have it reinforced. That is a reinforced box right about there. Okay, so what do I mean by reinforced? Basically, you will notice that we have put an additional slanted pieces behind that to ensure that the husk do not break through on that side over there. Okay, so let me go ahead and remove this little aerial view, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how we built this side as well. So apart from these 3x1 boxes, this part over here is also essential blocking off. Okay, so this particular rock face right here, we have gone ahead and blocked this off, and ensuring that we do not actually have any flingers or lobbers trying to find their way through here as well. So generally speaking, for most block offs, you can safely assume that these are both mostly for flingers, lobbers, as well as laser boys and assassin type husks, basically the type that targets players. Okay, so this is how this block off here looks like. Please do ensure that during the process of you guys building these funnels, make sure to place these tiles carefully, one after another, and place the building pieces first before you place the traps. I really feel very sad whenever I see people saying that they are rigging it up immediately with traps and the lava rock falls down and breaks all of their traps. It's quite sad to see that. So save your resources, just use building pieces up until the point where you've sufficiently and accurately isolated the lava rock as such, and then you will be fine. Now this lava rock position is doubly important as well, because by isolating this particular lava rock right here, you actually can save on a Lubber Shield. You don't actually need to build a Lubber Shield on this side over here. These funnels with tier 3 metal is serving sufficiently as a Lubber Shield in and of itself. So you don't actually need to put any of these tiles over here. You are safe from lobbers. This has been tested and this is good to go. Okay, so let's get right back into the funnel systems right here. So this part might look a little bit strange to some of you guys. You might be wondering, what on earth is Allura doing over here? Why is there this strange drop off? Now, if we notice over here, this is basically the spawn from up here. Gas trap, wall launcher, wall darts, slowing floor spikes, slowing floor spikes. This actually is a little floating piece. You'll notice this is floating across over here. Now what we've basically been testing is how do the path of the husk take? How do the husk actually walk if we build it in this particular manner? Will they attempt to punch through here? Will they in fact drop down over here because it's a more direct path? Or will they choose to walk across this entire gangplank of death? And if you guessed it right, yes, they actually, for some strange reason, choose to walk across this gangplank way of death. They really just enjoy walking through here. They don't like dropping down for some reason, they just don't. So this entire area right here is just tons of value. Tons of value. They spawn here and they walk through this entire sequence over here of traps. So this is the reason why we've built it as such. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Curve. 1, 2, and this is where you meet. This is the meeting point. This is basically where you would generally want to toss down your slowing field if you want to throw down an early slow field in this particular funnel. But honestly speaking, it really isn't needed. This funnel is pretty strong if you notice right here. So we're gone ahead and rigged up a bunch of gas traps. If you really felt like it, you can put some additional dart traps over here. I'm a little bit low on building limit right now. So I'm just going ahead and cut some of these less essential traps. Most of the dart traps you will see over here are only placed because it is facing a main spawn, meaning most of the husk spawns, they're all going to be coming through here, and by virtue of that, as they're pathing through here, all these areas where there's main foot traffic of husks are all going to be hit by wall darts. Okay. So wall dart here, gas, 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 gas over there, wall dart on this side over here, as well as wall launcher on this side here. This part over here, you can basically also put a wall launcher, but I feel like it's unnecessary because with a wall launcher over here, you're only catching in the husks that come from this side over here. We basically want to have a wall dart over here to be able to catch the husks that also walk from this side as well. Right, so as we are moving on over here, we have a wall launcher this side here. We have flowing floor spikes, slowing floor spikes, gas, gas, empty wall, blank over here. We don't want to put anything over here, and mostly because I just want to save on building pieces. Not really necessary over here. So if you're wondering what this wall is, we're just going to ahead and show you guys point of reference. This is where the lava rock is falling, so very essential for you guys to keep this, you know, tier 3 metal, tier 3 metal, tier 3 metal, and ensure that the husks do not come through here. Okay, so let's continue moving on. This part over here has already been explained, I think. Wooden floor spikes, retractable timeout room right there. So moving on, as we are seeing over here, we have a wall launcher on this side, wall launcher on this side. This encompasses 2 wall launchers. Same logic for smashers. We always think about smashers. So smasher spawns in over here, they come through here, they get hit by the first wall launcher, get hit by the second wall launcher, and that's still not enough for them to get sent flying. However, as they move towards here, they get stuck by this tar pit. This wall launcher sends them right back. 1, 2, 3, about 3 to 4 tiles. They probably end up somewhere about here, about the end of this tile over here, and that's going to allow you to get some good time for your wall launchers as well as your tar pits, yeah, to get some good value. So even if they get sent back here and this is on cooldown, even if it's on cooldown, they're gonna walk here and they're gonna get stuck here, and this wall launcher is going to be able to get one more hit off on them. Okay, same thing as they manage to pass through here. If this goes off, it's not sent flying yet. This tar pit hits them, this one goes off. If it's still not enough, this tar pit sticks them, and then this wall launcher goes off, and then they fall down over here, and then they get stuck by this tar pit all over again, and this wall launcher gets to go off once again. So there's tons and tons of delay, tons and tons of delay. Gas trap over here, right? Wall darts, wall launcher, wall darts, wall launcher, wall launcher, 2x2 tar pits. So as you can see, there is some similarities between this funnel as well as the tunnel that we had on the other side over there as well. Most of the exits of the funnel systems are generally going to be rigged up mostly with tar pits before they engage the floor launchers at the end of the tunnels. Okay, so let's head out over here, wall launcher over here. So this one right here, we basically have our 4x wall launchers, okay? 4x floor launchers rather. 4x floor, 4x floor, 4x floor, 4x floor. Now, as to this part over here, why I've decided actually to remove a wall launcher over here is partly because when I am noticing how the smashes are going to be pathing across, they're probably going to turn this corner over here, get hit over here, turn this corner over here, travel across here, get stuck on this corner over here, get hit by that wall launcher over there. And then from this point, where are they going to path? Always try to think, you know, if you're building your funnels, try to think like a husk, try to think like a smasher, okay? So as we are rounding this corner over here, what are the paths you can take? What is the most direct path towards the base? As you can see right here, it is going to be right through that stair sequence right here. So if we leave it as such, right here, we can actually notice that the smashers will be more likely to travel somewhere about in between. They'll either travel here or they'll just gamble over to this side over here. This one goes off. If this one doesn't catch them, this one goes off, and then they'll be sent into the sky. If these two are on cooldown, they'll once again go over here, and because of how large the smashers are, they'll probably hit both these two tiles over here and they'll probably get sent flying as well. If, however, these 4 floor launchers are on cooldown, then it is going to be your job as a player, to be having your teammates standing around over here and be like, okay, the smasher has managed to come through this area here. You just go ahead and use a Center's Helper or whatever explosive weapons you are choosing to use, fire it off, and then send them right back there. First shot doesn't go off, fire a second shot and send them right back into this area right here. Just ensure that they are kept in this little pit over here for the floor launchers to keep working, and you should be fine and dandy. All of these over here are basically just for surety. All of these floor launchers here are basically just here for surety. Now, in terms of how we've basically built this amplifier as well, you'll notice that I've chosen to use tier 3 metal over here, tier 3 full wall over here, tier 3 metal but doors on this side, and tier 3 stone over here. You might be wondering why stone. This one over here can basically change this to metal, doesn't really matter, but why stone over here? So what we are basically trying to do is to encourage husks to hit certain areas. We want them to hit certain areas. So if I have a smasher coming through onto this side over here, it gets sent onto this little weird strange area down here. I don't really want that. If I have the smashers being flung on this side over here, they're being flung over to this corner over here, giving me a lot more time to react and a lot more space to be working with, and also allowing us to either fire them across to this section over there or fire them backwards to that side over there. So just a little bit of a path manipulation right here, if you will. So as we are talking about this part over here, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly cover this particular area. We have some upturned floors right here. Now you might ask me, Allura, what is the purpose of these floors? With all of the path manipulation that is happening over here, with all these zigzaggy funnels going on over here, you really do not want to have your smashers or whatever husks try to punch through on these walls over here. So what we've gone ahead and done is we've gone ahead and slide some of these upturned floor pieces, tier 3 metal upturned floor pieces, right here. As you can see, this is exactly how we've done it as such, and this prevents smashers and any of the husks from trying to punch their way through or charging. So yeah, that basically covers it for this funnel right here. I think we covered everything. Good. Okay. So before we go ahead and finish off this video, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight to you guys as well. Over to this side over here, this is probably covering it's kind of in between, so I'll just cover it here as well. There's a little hill over here. Just want to go ahead and put an additional piece of protection over here with a little cap off, just to prevent husks from trying to punch through up there and go through the ramp over here, because you know, if you do have flingers and stuff like that, they punch through from that side over here, you don't want them walk up from here and find a way over here and try and toss into your base. But honestly speaking, you know, that's not very likely. If you've built exactly as we have, you know, this should not be a possibility. This is really more for the Devil North amplifier spawn, which we will cover in our next video. So you might be also wondering a little bit now. I think we've gone ahead and picked up some feedback from you guys. I've been gathering feedback from you guys, and some of you all are saying that, you know, hey Allura, some of your videos can be a little bit long. They can be a little bit long in duration. So I think maybe we're just going to try and go ahead with this a particular way of doing things, where we simply cover one particular amplifier and try and keep the videos to a shorter duration. So with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Devil Amplifier West spawn, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. We will be covering Devil Amplifier North. So if you guys enjoyed the video, once again, feel free to go and check us out at LuRaSC Twitch TV. Yeah, and also go ahead and let me know in the comment section how you feel about this particular build. With that, guys, I will see you guys next time in the next video. Allura out. Bye bye.